Welcome to day 260 of TFIF 365. And today's topic is going to seem a little weird, right? Because, as I've said, I am a scholar practitioner. I am a social scientist. I'm an economist. I think about a lot of things, right? I'm a thinker. That's what I do. I think about things. And a lot of the things I watch now, particularly the things that I've watched growing up, I watch them now from a completely different lens, right? It's entertainment, but it is also just trying to see like examples or understand the human experience. That's basically what I'm just curious about the human experience. And so today I want to talk to you about The Young and the Restless, because that show is a show that many people grew up on, particularly if you were taken care of or raised by your grandparents. You spent a lot of time with your grandparents, your grandmama. Back in the day, Young and the Restless, All My Children, was the thing. But I want to talk about specifically Young and the Restless, because this is what I'm still watching years later. And I find it so fucking problematic. Oh my God, this show is so fucking problematic. And I'm just going to give you 3 examples from 3 characters that are staples on the show, particularly Victor Newman is a staple on it. He is the show, and he is such a bully. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because so many of us, our views on relationships and how we engage with the world were formed in those moments watching those shows. Right? They're not benign. They're not harmless. And so Victor Newman, bully, disloyal. So in this one situation that's going on right now, well, I'll give you 2 situations. He always demands loyalty, but is not loyal to anybody. He will turn on a dime on anybody. He always wants his way, and when he can't get his way, he destroys everything. It's just like he's just a chaos agent. He's like the Tasmanian devil in the old Bugs Bunny cartoons that used to just spin around and just destroy everything, everything gets caught up in him, and he destroys everything. I look at that now and I have a hard time because I see he is the fictitious version of Donald J. Trump. And watching it now, it just I don't enjoy his character anymore at all. And the second is Kyle. Kyle is in a situation where there's a power dynamic. There's a privilege imbalance. He didn't check his relative privilege in this situation because his nanny, who had a whole background story, her very sheltered, never had friends, never had anybody but this old batshit crazy aunt, has never had a romance before. She is maybe in years. Again, this is where we talk about relative privilege. This is where we also talk about meeting people where they are. This is talk about why supremacy-free, coercion-free, discrimination-free, and exploitation-free requires us to think so much more deeply and considerately about things. Because if she was just, first of all, it's bad enough that he's the employer and she's the employee, and they just kissed, right? It's like, oh my God, we see that it is a recipe for failure, right? Or for problems, particularly because she's the most vulnerable. And that's why you have to figure out who's the most vulnerable in a situation. They're not equals. I would never, like I've said before, I loved my old assistant. She's like a little sister to me. I would do almost anything for this heifer. But what I never want to do was put her in a situation where if she said no to me, that it could be used against her. And this is that kind of situation. How is she going to say no? She's already fallen in love. She's never had a romance before. He knows this about her. And yet he's not considering that in his decisions to explore his interest in her, right? That's a whole other thing besides your libido, right? And so that's number 2. Number 3 is Adam, Victor's son. So he and his old girl, Chelsea, got together, and they were dealing with some stuff with their son that just really freaked them out. They ended up jumping into bed. So Chelsea both of them immediately feels guilt, but Chelsea falls into, I need to tell my significant other. Adam is like, no, we need to keep it a secret. Then he talks her into keeping it a secret. Then when he's about to get caught, he lies about why, because there's some tension when they get back to their significant others. They know something's wrong, so there's some tension. So he's trying to explain it. So he lies about that. Chelsea can't take it anymore because she loves the man she's with, so she shares that. She can't take it anymore. She's holding his secret. She's holding their secret, but she's holding it for him. And right before that happens, Sally, his girlfriend, they're in the room, and he's, no, I would never do this, and I love you. She is like, her gut is screaming, you're lying to me, but she believes him. And he's just like, okay, good. And then she finds out he's fucking lied. And his answer is, I did this because I didn't want to have this situation we're having right now. Fuck, see, oh, that's some fuck shit right there. That's definitely some fuck shit. That's some shit motherfuckers use to manipulate you. I don't give a fuck. You don't get to betray me and then make me the reason that you betrayed me. No, that's not going to happen. And so I'm bringing this up because we see this play out every day. And as a child, I see it, and I'm like, this is where I learned how my relationships, and this shit is toxic as fuck. We use we're passive aggressive because that's what they are in the soaps and the shows we watch. There's so much about, and I get it because they're dramas, but there's a line blurred, and people are, I just see, I just see the toxicity in all of that. And for me, it was entertaining as a child. It's still entertaining in a way because I know these people, I know these stories, but and that's what I guess I'm talking, because I'm less and less entertained. I'm more and more looking at it from a social science lens, from a supremacy-free, coercion-free, discrimination-free, and exploitation-free lens. Not because I don't understand it's a drama, but because I know I see what's playing in drama, what people are getting paid for drama, getting played out in the real world. People are behaving that same. They may not be behaving that way because of these shows, because this specific show or other shows like that. But those other shows, those shows are reflecting what we do in real life. Those shows wouldn't be a storyline if they weren't reflecting what we do in real life. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. There's so much that we ingest as neutral, apolitical, and they're not. They trigger us on many different levels. So just something to think about as you do that self-examination work, as you do that self-reflection work, as you do that self-accountability work. Where did you get your ideas to behave the way that the things that you find in yourself that you would like to change? Where did you get that? Where did that come from? What lessons did you learn? Were they adopted because you were trying to protect? Whatever it is, address those things, because we can't get where we're trying to go if we're all, again, this is why we're all the coalition of the wounded, but we can't get where we're trying to go unless we're willing to heal. So until tomorrow, peace. Become a sustaining sponsor at kimcreighton.com/support-the-work and help make this work happen.